The Republican Party is wringing their hands about Donald Trump. And Surya Gayatri, nice post over at Democratic Underground this morning. I didn't see this. I've given up on watching Morning Scar. But Eugene Robinson was apparently on the show today. And I believe that this post is a quote. He says, this Republican woe is us theme about Trump's unstoppable rise is pretty ironic. The entire party has created the very atmosphere in which Trump thrives. They created and encouraged the anger, resentment, and frustration that Trump so adroitly channels. Republican power brokers say, our voters have lost their minds. No, you drove them crazy. And that's the point. And that's the point I've been making, well, for in books for 20 years and on this radio program for over a decade, that the core of the Republican Party is entirely economic. Libertarianism is really at its core an economic religion, a belief that a so-called free market, something that does not exist, never has, never will somehow cause, a paradise for everybody. And the fact of the matter is that what are referred to in Europe as neoliberal economics, what we refer to as libertarian economics or Reaganism or supply side economics or trickle down economics, that what that does is it makes the rich richer and forget the middle class. The middle class has become the working class, and the working class is rapidly becoming the working poor. And this is... And this is amazing. And because the Republican Party basically is just all about the money, as I've said so many times, they have to bring in all these other groups to vote for them so that they can win elections. Now, arguably the Democrats have been doing the same thing to a certain extent. They've been saying, okay, we're all about the money too. We're all about the money for the middle class. The Republicans are all about the money for the rich. And on behalf of the middle class, we support labor. The problem is that, we've had a couple of essentially moderate is the word that is used, Democratic presidents that have done nothing to strengthen labor in the United States. Nothing of consequence. We don't have card check. I mean, this is simple stuff that goes back to 1935. We haven't been able to accomplish. Why? Could it have to do with Bill Clinton having announced after he won the 1992 election, we're all Eisenhower Republicans here? No, seriously, he did. So anyhow, it seems to me that in many ways the Democratic Party, with the exception of the Sanders-Warren wing, has lost the progressive wing. The Democratic Party for basically since the late 80s has lost its soul. It has disassociated itself, shall we say, from the Democratic Party of the 1930s and 40s, which was one, and frankly, of the 60s, when it was at its progressive peak. And the Republican Party has shifted from the politics of Eisenhower, which were actually reasonably centrist, high tax rates, 91% income tax rate on the richest people. Corporations were funding, 15, 20%. Actually, no, it was close to a third of the cost of government. Now it's around 15%, as I recall. Might be as low as 11%. And, most of and of course, the top tax rate when Reagan came into office on rich people, truly rich people, was 74%. So, anyhow, the Republicans, in my humble opinion, have by saying to people, no, we're really not just about rich people here. And by the way, if the rich people get helped out by our policies, that's fine, because you will be too. So don't worry about it. But what we're really about here is, the middle class. But, the middle class, by and large, doesn't buy that. So then the Republicans have to say, hey, anybody out there want to vote for us for reasons other than economics? And you got some people raising their hands going, yeah, hey, if you want to support ending abortion in the United States, I'll vote for you. And then somebody else raises their hand and says, hey, if you want to suppress the black vote, in fact, if you want to keep black folks in eternal bondage, I'll vote for you. Do you see this story about this police department down in Alabama? It's on the front page of Alternet. It's a new report out from Southern Poverty Law Center. These police, for decades, have been planting drugs on African-American young people and then busting them for them, and a number of them are still in prison, according to allegations made by police officers in that police department who turned whistleblower like 20 years ago. And now they're trying to get somebody to listen to them. So anyhow, the net of what I was saying is that the Republican Party, by reaching out to crazies, the gun nuts, the abortion people, the xenophobes, the Islamophobes, the racists, by reaching out to them, they have created a party base that goes well beyond just the very rich. And much of that party base are crazy. I mean, they're crazy by the standards of a contemporary society that says we're all in this together. There's an amazing point made yesterday about competition in public spaces. I want to get back to a rant on that in about 5 minutes. Please help me remember, Shano, the other half of my brain over here. And but this is, I mean, the Republican Party created Donald Trump. Why are they complaining about him? And the Democratic Party, in my opinion, now is confronting an existential crisis as well. Do they continue the economic and perhaps more importantly, social policies, and most importantly, labor policies of the Clinton and Obama administrations? Or do they follow Bernie Sanders and become more like FDR and LBJ? These are big decisions. To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here. And please be sure to hit the handy-dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.